Okay, and beep. Oh, beep. There it goes. We are in Volume 8 of the Bible story by Arthur S Maxwell, and I'm reading Part 2, Story 5, Treasures in Heaven. In those far off days, when Jesus was teaching in Galilee, there were no banks such as are to be found in every city today. If a man had something of value, he wanted to keep it safe, he would put it in a hole in the ground or in a cellar underneath his house. Yeah, my grandpa used to do that. Uh, though I heard. I never got to meet him. Neither one of them. Okay, but the best of such hiding places was not very safe. If they were damp, then the precious object might become rusty or tarnished. If it were dry, the treasure was a the treasure was a beautiful garment or a priceless picture or a valuable piece of furniture, then moths and worms or white ants would destroy it. Then, too, there was always the danger of thieves might breaking in and stealing it, or an invading army carrying it away. There simply wasn't any safety anywhere, and Jesus pointed out to the people how foolish it was of them to spend so much time saving money to buy things that wouldn't last or that couldn't keep very long, or that could be so easily stolen. Lay not up for thyself treasure upon earth, where moth and rust, and then it has a pause, corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal, he said, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven. Such treasures would be safe forever. No moths, no rust, no thieves can get in there. The people must have looked at him with a puzzled expression on their face. What did he mean? How could anybody put treasures in heaven? Perhaps someday somebody called out, "You mean I could put my money in heaven and it would be safe from robbers?" Yes, but how? By giving it to somebody in need. Then everybody must have smiled. It seemed so foolish. Yet it wasn't. It was very, very true. Because, you see, when we use our treasure in the spirit of love to help others, we really give it to God. And God, who never forgets a simple good deed done in his name, in some ways will repay our gifts. And it has a picture of a nice looking family giving stuff to a poor family. See, they're well dressed. She has a bag of food, gives to one, gives a new clothes to, and of course the little girl has a brand new doll that she's not using any. The other girl that has the bag's not using anymore. I mean, that, you know, that happens. In some way, will repay our gifts, and often much more than we could ever wish for. Give, and it shall be given unto you, said Jesus. Good measure, pressed down and shaken together, and runneth over, shall man give unto your bosom. For with the same measure that ye met withdraw, it shall be measured to you again. King James. Uh, for what measure you give to one person, it will be met to you again. Love puts the treasure in heaven, and love pays it out again. Of course, it takes faith to put money or anything else into this kind of bank. But it takes faith to put money in a kind of okay. But it takes faith to put money in any kind of bank, doesn't it? Of course it does. Even a penny bank, piggy bank. It says piggy bank. It says piggy bank. Well, I always say piggy bank. So to make this new kind of banking work, you have to believe in God and heaven and love, which is the only kind of money heaven knows. Where your treasure is, said Jesus, there will your heart be also. If your treasure is in your basement or anywhere else on earth, you'll be forever worried about it. But if you use it in love to the glory of God, you will put it in heaven, and your hearts following it there will find the peace and happiness which heaven alone can give. And then, of course, it has Jesus or their representation of Jesus. If I did it, I would have put the marks in his hands. But, of course, the story is before he goes to Calvary. And there's the representation of Jesus, and then a boy and a girl. That's just me. I would want to put the marks in his hands. And I'm not going to mark up my book. No, 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 no. Ain't going to do that. Definitely ain't going to do that. Okay, that was part 2, story 5. Okay, so that's a short one. So it's break, and then I'll be back in a little bit with the rest of these stories. See you in a bit.